Hello.
Sorry, I'm just so pissed.
Why are you so pissed?
Where do I get started?
Well, please. While everybody's watching, what's pissing you off, Mitch?
Well,
You seem real pissed.
I mean, what's not having me pissed off right now?
Wow, it sounds like you're
Just
having a conundrum.
I'm just kidding. All right. There's something important
Oh, okay.
that I just get off my chest live on Facebook. Pour my heart out to everybody. Alright. For real though. In relationships, we've noticed this thing that's quite fascinating.
It's quite fascinating, yes. Mitch.
You know how it's like a lot of people say, I'm like pulling my weight in the relationship, right? Like I'm doing my half.
I'm doing
What
my
about-
half.
what about
I'm doing
you?
50%. Where are you at with the other 50%?
Yeah. And
Come
then
through.
And then then it turns into this spiteful battle, right?
Yeah. I always do with the dishes. Okay, I do half the dishes. You should do your half.
Yeah, well, I make all the money. Why, you should make half the money.
Well, you should do half the cleaning.
I don't want to do half the cleaning. Straight up.
You should make the bed half the time.
Yeah, and we should eat the exact same amount of food too, right? How often do we see that in relationships?
But you should do the laundry half the time.
I installed the laundry machine. That's good enough, right?
Okay.
So, what was that right there? That was everyone's mind on some level. Even if it's subconscious, meaning you aren't fully aware of it, but it's still there. And you
Taking
have
out
these
the
thoughts.
trash.
Yep.
Say you did it 3
It's
times in a row.
Yeah, it's your
You're
turn
like,
to do it.
you know what? I've done it 3 times in a row. It is your turn. I shoveled the driveway last time. You gotta do it this time.
Yeah, that only applies for our northern climate people.
Okay, you know
But
what?
yeah, I know.
It's applicable for
Yeah,
half.
of course.
Maybe even 3/4 because we live in Minnesota, so probably a lot of our friends are in Minnesota too.
That's true. That's true. So
At least on Facebook.
this goes on in everyone's mind, thinking that, oh, I do my part, you better do your part, or I'm justified in being pissed at you, and therefore all these thoughts, all this ammunition I've built up, like I am now justified in just unleashing it. Right? You ever had that in a relationship? Maybe a past relationship, like with your ex. And let's just blame it on your ex for right now, okay? It'll make it easy, right? How your ex would just save those little things. She'd just kind of bite, or he would bite their tongue, like, okay, yeah, sure, okay. But then that one moment happens, and they crack, and they unleash like an AR-15 at the gun range, right?
You do it better than I do.
Have y'all seen that before? Maybe been on the receiving end or the giving end of that?
Yeah.
Well, look no further, because you can actually stop doing that forever.
Mm-hmm.
How much greater would your life be if you didn't approach your relationship thinking about how you're going to win that next argument, how you're justified, and how much greatness that you do and you bring to the
Or
relationship?
there was no questioning who did which task next. Or no thinking in the back of your mind, is he going to do this? Because I did it last time.
Mm-hmm.
And then continuously just like being in this continuum of unknown, frustration, confusion, blame, spite.
Leaving those little comments like, well, I guess I'll go. I'll do it again. It's not a problem. In reality, it's a big fucking problem.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So,
What is the solution, Mitch?
well, I'll give 50% of the solution if you give the other 50.
Okay.
All right. So this is all too familiar. We see it in movies. We see it in culture. We see it in our friends, probably in our parents, if our parents are even still together, where it's just this battle of like, okay, I'm going to do 50. You better do 50. And
Yeah.
You got to earn your spot in this relationship, okay? That's
Ooh.
such low level thinking, and that will keep you both stuck.
Mm-hmm.
It's like you're both parasites trying to live off each other, and your mind is like a parasite just constantly like,
Yeah.
are they gonna do that thing right?
Right.
I know this is familiar to all y'all. Leave
That's
a comment.
a big thing too.
Leave a comment if you've noticed this type of thinking where it's like 50-50. You want the other person to pull their end of the weight.
Leave a comment of something that when the other partner does it, it's not done to your standards.
Ooh, that's a good one. Yeah, what's that thing that your partner, either ex or current partner, does that is not, it just doesn't add up to how
He doesn't answer the right questions.
Uh-huh. Yep. So that kind of thinking is, well, what kind of effect is that thinking going to have on your life long term? Like, is that really the kind of relationship you want to have? I mean, maybe you've never even thought of another option, how it could be way better. But that 50-50 thinking is two egos in a relationship trying to feed off each other, basically living in self-interest. And you're screwed. Stressful, sucks, it's not fun, you lose the romance, honeymoon phase is over, and you're kind of just like looking for a way out. Straight up, you're looking for a way out.
Yeah, you're just sitting there kind of disgusted with the other person because you think, I get it. Why don't they get it? Why don't they just do it? And the other person is thinking about something totally different. They're not even possibly aware that you want them to help with that thing.
It's like that meme where the girl's on the bed like, like I wonder if he's like texting that other girl or whatever. And he's like on his side like thinking about like food or something. It's like that level of miscommunication and misunderstanding in relationships is so prevalent, and that's why we have such a high divorce rate. It's why I meet very few people that are actually happy in their relationship.
Yeah.
Like both partners are actually fundamentally supporting one another.
Yeah.
So we're like, oh, that's the wife, she's doing her wife thing, or oh, that's my husband, he's like doing his thing,
It's funny because we said we were going to talk about the solution and we went into the problem in more
Well,
depth.
even more because people got to be aware of like this is
It's a
pervasive.
problem.
This is pervasive throughout your life.
It's a problem.
So if you want to know the solution,
The solution is here.
all right.
Let me tell you something. Right now, if your relationship sounds a little bit like the problems we've been talking about, it's 50-50. And you're expecting the other person to give 50%. And that is a way to be in a relationship that will continue to have a dependency on somebody else, and you will not build from that relationship.
Yeah.
If you want to actually fundamentally grow and expand and accomplish things within being in a relationship, it has to be 100% and 100% coming together.
Yeah.
Imagine how much more you could accomplish if it wasn't me giving 50% and him giving 50%. It was both of us giving 100%. And the only way to do that is to figure out who's better at what tasks, and you do that, and they do the other ones. And you know what? I am way better at cleaning. I am way better at cooking. I am way better at folding the laundry. I'm way better at making the bed. I'm way better at grocery shopping. It just stresses him out. He can't even hardly shop.
Oh, I'm just like, why am I in here? This sucks. I have to make so many decisions about like basic things. I'm just like, Jess, can you please do this?
Yeah, so.
And it's not like I'm incompetent and I can't do that stuff.
Obviously
it would just
not.
take me 3 or 4 times as long, and it would
Yeah.
distract me from then what I can do to bring to the relationship. And so for me, I focus on building the business, building the systems that create money, managing the finances, understanding what needs to be done on a bigger level to get
Yeah.
us from where we are now to the end goal. And Jess and I, we both come together 100% on for each of us on certain things like long-term vision. Where do we want to go? When do we want to have kids? Marriage, things like that. So we're in agreement with that. That's not like, oh, Jess, you just handle exactly all that stuff. It's like, no, we have conversations and we have a relationship check-in every 2 weeks. So that's cool. But I also have then my focus of the things where I just dominate, and then that frees her up. So I know too, this is on me. it's my responsibility. And for some people that might be intimidating. That just means you don't trust yourself. That's okay. We can
But
support you with
the
that.
big thing is being upfront, clear, and in communication on that in which you're separating and taking on for yourself, and trusting that that person is accomplishing it to the best of their ability and actually giving 100% to it. Because if you're not able to be clear and give 100% to the things that you delegate to each other, then this system will not work for you. Because you'll constantly be worrying, is he actually growing the business as well as he could be? Is he actually bringing in the money that we need to support ourselves? And you'll have this back chat going on in the back of your mind, like, am I being provided for? Like, are we gonna make rent next month? All these things. But if you both bring 100% to the table and you take on that stuff, then the other person doesn't have to think about it. He doesn't have to think about doing the dishes. He doesn't have to think about doing the laundry. He doesn't have to think about cleaning. He doesn't have to think about grocery shopping. Like, none of that. Because I do it. So he doesn't have to worry or think or take up time. All of that, all that extra crap that I take on for him, he can focus that time and effort on growing the business, on doing all the tasks that we've put on him, and vice versa. I can do an amazing job taking care of the home because he's taken on the other aspects of our relationship. And so I 100% am doing this, and I'm fantastic at it, and I'm kicking butt, okay? And he is kicking ass over there doing all his tasks. And it's awesome because we come together knowing at the end of the day, we both gave 100% to the tasks we needed to accomplish to grow and expand our relationship. Not to just get by and give 50-50 and just get it done and delegate the tasks that you don't really like to do. Well, why don't you really like to do it? Well, you have some kind of emotional conundrum. Work through that. Okay, in your childhood, your mom probably said you had to do the dishes or something, and you have really doing the dishes. Are you kidding me? If any of you on this leave dishes in the sink overnight that are dirty, check yourself. That's gross.
I mean, it's so true. It's the way you do anything is the way you do everything. So if you're the kind of person that will find an excuse to just leave your dishes in the sink, and then you're like, oh, I'll just do it later, what else in your life are you just putting off till later?
Right.
And now if you're starting to start a business or a side hustle, you're going to try and get people involved in your movement, maybe try and bring on new clients or things like that, and you will get that same objection of, I'm almost ready, but like I'll do it later. Because literally the way you do anything is the way you do everything. And that's a hard pill to swallow, but swallow it.
Say it again.
It's the red pill.
Say it
right?
slower. Say it again.
The way you do anything is the way you do everything. So the way you look at yourself in the mirror, the way you comb your hair, the way you brush your teeth, if you floss, if you eat your food fast, if you look at your partner and you think thoughts of, I wonder if they're hiding something from me. And whatever it is, all of that carries into everything else you do.
Yeah.
And
so in the morning, if I didn't work out, stretch, shower, and put on some clothes that are better than just, raggedy clothes or not wearing anything, like actually taking care of myself, fundamentally looking, am I getting the nutrients, sustenance that my body needs? How's my body, do I need to moisturize my skin? Like checking in on myself, right? If I start my day like that, then the rest of my day is a reflection of that. And everything that you do in your life will be a reflection of how you take care of yourself. Because if you aren't doing basic self-care, which if your parents did not teach you how to do basic self-care, teach yourself. You're an adult, take care of your body. Like, this is 2020. If you haven't figured it out yet, you'll be here for your whole life, okay? It's not 3020 where you can get a new body if you fuck it up.
Yeah, and it's not like, this is such a deep point, but like it's not gonna get better just because of some mystical belief of like, it'll just get better. Like, nah, it's actually gonna get worse unless you get better. And it's not like, oh, well, we're here temporarily and then like the real life is like in heaven or something. Like, you're here. You got a physical body. If you really thought, oh, it's just about getting to heaven, like, why are you still here? So let's make the most of this. And by doing that, it's understanding this is me and my role. And whether you have a partner or not, when you prepare for a relationship, because everyone wants a partner at some level, figure out what that 100% is for you. Support your partner to figure out what that 100% is for themselves. Have those conversations. Mm-hmm. If you and your partner are getting triggered and you can't even have that level of conversations, you really, I suggest reach out, because that's a big thing where couples, the littlest thing can turn into a big argument. Yep. So you end up actually just avoiding it because you don't want to nag. Mm-hmm. But what kind of life is that? I mean, that sucks. Yeah. And so if you want your life to not suck, pay attention, right? Because your life can be amazing. And now ever since Jess has taken over handling the home and making me food and just supporting in whatever way I need. And I'll text her something like, hey, can you remind me tomorrow to like blah, blah, blah. She's like, yep, no problem. It's phenomenal. Now, what that's done for me is I can now focus 100% of my attention on the things that make us money. So now we have passive income coming in every month. So we have our bills covered. We have more than enough money. So now we're able to invest that. And now we can build these businesses and bring more and more people into it. Mm-hmm. So that we can share this with more people. Because we want to actually create a better world. Not just for ourselves, but for everybody. And so that's what we're doing. And the only way that that's possible is because we're in agreement and we're clear on, I'm giving 100%. She's giving 100%. And here's one other point. A lot of people think, oh, I should just be able to just trust my partner. I trust you. Or on some people might be like, I cannot trust him. I cannot trust her, whatever. Wherever you're at in your relationship with trust of your partner and of yourself, trust means it's an active thing. It's like a verb.
It's ongoing.
It's ongoing, and you have to check. You have to verify. Because on one level, she could say, yep, I just trust him to build a business. Like, I trust him. He's good. He's been good so far. But I still give her access to the bank account. I still give her access to the credit cards. She can see the finances. So she knows, like, it's complete integrity. So if she's like, hey, how's things going? I can say what I say, but it's also open where she could go in and look at that too.
Trust is earned.
Yeah.
Trust is something that you prove again and again every single day. He trusts me to do the dishes every day. He trusts me to cook by a certain time every day. He depends on my trust of doing that. Mm-hmm. Because if I didn't, he would throw his whole schedule off. Mm-hmm. He'd be like, where's my food? Jess, what the heck?
And then in the back of my mind, then I'm like, well, does this mean I have to like make my own food? Like, do I need to? And then it opens up this whole thing.
Mm-hmm. So trust is an action that you get to take every day. If you want him to trust you, you prove to him that he can trust you by doing again and again the things that you guys agreed upon. Like, I agreed upon doing all these things. I do them every day. He agreed upon doing all those things. He does them every day to the best of our ability. Mm-hmm. That is what trust is built upon. I trust him because of that. Not because you should trust your partner. And not because you should choose someone who's trustworthy. Because that doesn't make any sense. You have to figure out that baseline, like, what do you agree upon? What are your principles? Why are you in a relationship together? What are you trying to accomplish in this relationship? That is the key to all these videos that we've made. Like, if you don't have that by now, like, please call me. Like, please call me. Let's talk about this. Because none of this stuff is going to work if you don't have that. If you don't have a foundation for your relationship, and it's just based on feelings and energy and just that's all fleeting. And
that
because
will
you're
wear
in love.
off. I guarantee
we're so
you.
In love.
I will bet you all your feelings will fade.
But that aside, regardless, whether they don't fade, say you go your entire life and your relationship is all feelings and it's all feeling good or feeling anxious or feeling angry or just feelings the entire time. What did you accomplish? Other than feelings, were you able to even see past that? Were you able to actually fundamentally support your kids if you had kids? Or were you too worried about your feelings and how you were experiencing this family dynamic in this relationship? That's not what this is about. And that's not to say that we don't have great feelings, because by having this foundation of clarity and purpose on what our relationship is and what we're striving to accomplish within our relationship, of course we have great feelings. Of course it feels good when I bring him all of his meals. Of course it feels good when I can go and get groceries and know that the money is going to be there. Of course that feels good. Of course it feels good when you get, 5 minutes, 10 minutes in between things during the day to just sit and say, hey, how's your day going? Or 15 minutes to have lunch together, different things like that. Of course it feels good, okay? It's not saying that I'm a robot, I don't feel feelings. That's not what we're saying. But what we're saying is, if you have that foundation, if you both earn your trust of the other person by accomplishing your half that you've agreed upon, you can expand and grow your relationship to measures you didn't even know were possible.
Mm-hmm.
And
it's the most fulfilling thing ever.
Yeah.
Straight up.
Yeah.
Yeah. And my earnest wish is that you all can find this for yourself. And if you don't know what to do about that, we have a whole YouTube playlist about this. You can reach out to us. You can be our Facebook friends. And then you can share this with other couples. Because how many couples around you do you see that are actually happy? Like long-term and sustainable? Maybe one or two. Like be really honest. What if you could be that catalyst for not only yourself, but for others and other couples to actually have a fruitful relationship that's long-lasting and then creates even more greatness that you can't even see right now. That's what this is really about. So.
Yes.
Cool.
I have seen the names popping up throughout this thing. Kelsey, I don't know if you're still on, but I saw your comments.
Yeah.
And it's super exciting to see all the wide variety of people that are hopping on and joining and watching, whether it's for 2 seconds or for the entirety of our live. I appreciate you guys coming on. Leave comments, ask questions.
Yeah, let us know what you want to see more.
Be interactive. Feedback is wonderful so that we know what you'd like us to talk about. And if it's not something necessarily, Kelsey, I love it. If it's not something that we are experiencing, like kids or whatever, we can talk about the experiences we've had with other people in our network that have kids and the experience we've had observing them. And and anything, just like reach out. This is it. If you're sick and tired of doing this stuff and it's pissing you off and blah blah blah, well then watch our videos.
Yeah, there's a lot in here, and we'll share a lot more over time with like everything we're building with the business, because a lot of people, like, if you don't have enough money, you can't even, like, that can cloud you. And so we'll show you how to do that too, and how to build a relationship where one of the partners is able to make a lot of money and support the relationship and then actually do good with the money. Right. Like, that's literally what we do. And I'm able to do that because Jess is so awesome at taking care of pretty much everything else. So again, whatever you want to see, leave comments, reach out to us, and then we'll make those videos.
I don't take advantage of that either.
Mm-hmm.
I'm very purposeful about how I spend the money. I track every single thing that I buy.
It's like the Amazon guy comes to deliver, and I actually do not have that thought in my mind of like, oh God, what'd she get again? It's like, oh cool, like Jess is getting something cool for the home that's like actually going to add to the space.
Since we moved into our house, needless to say, every day we've gotten Amazon packages. Because it's easier. It's easier for me to order online than for him to have to go to the store. So.
Of course.
But yes, getting off topic now. So this is it. This is where it's at, guys. Thank you.
I mean, this is the future of relationships, straight up. I'm confident saying that. So keep paying attention. And like I said, any questions, feel free to reach out. And
the whole playlist is on YouTube.
Yep.
Watch it.
All right, y'all. Well, make it the best day yet. It's on you.